Okay, welcome back. I did one of the stone things off camera, but I want to watch the Met game, so I don't want to spend too much time off camera. um, yeah, I talk about the Mets a lot, but they've had a really interesting season. It seems like every time they're about to reach the point where the season's over, they win a couple games, and then every time they reach the point where they're about to reach the point where they can kind of settle into a wild card spot, or like um, they they get swept or something. So it's been interesting. I've never really seen a season like this before, where they're kind of hanging around the wild card, and they sometimes go up and sometimes go down, but they never settle into being really good or being really bad. So today they have a big game that I'm kind of missing, but it's recorded, so I just watch it. It's 9 o'clock right now. They play at 7. So I think I've gotten a little bit better with the camera position. Maybe it would be better. I have it up here. Maybe it would be better to put it down face level. Uh-oh. Ah, this freaking guy again. Stop it. I can't leave, right? So last week I forgot to do a green screen. I did a black screen. And where am I? Oh no, I'm very far away. Oh no. I thought I was at outset, but this is the other one. To go south. The program that I use, VSDC, is a free program, and it lets you use chroma key, but only for green, not black. Which is probably good anyway, because it might take out my hair. I don't know. So I remembered to do green this time. So now I won't be in a black box. I'll be just kind of floating. So that might look weird, but I was watching. I might have mentioned this. I was watching PewDiePie or Markiplier, and to see what they did, and they did the same thing I did. They didn't black out the background. They used their real background, but I thought they would have a green screen. Maybe that's more of like a streaming, Twitch thing that people do. But I like the way it looks better instead of just a box. I'm just kind of sitting. I'm sitting in the bottom left of the screen, so it's like there's Link right there, and the westerly winds are up here. Oh no, that's the wrong way. It's over here. Link's over here. Oh, I can't hit that cyclone again. Where do I have to go? It's probably this thing. There's a cold front coming from the north. So I already got the 3 gems or whatever they're called. Then are there 7 temples? I don't remember. I think that's what it is in Ocarina, right? There's 7 sages, and there's 7 temples, and you have to like free each. So is it similar? Just is it the same thing? Just 3 pearls, then 3 7 sages, and then I don't remember. I remember that being kind of a big deal for me in Ocarina, is there being a lot of dungeons. I feel like the first time I played that game, I was surprised. That like it takes a long time to get the first 3. And then you learn. After you get the first 3, you go to the temple and you learn you have to do the 7 sage thing, and you're like, wow, there's a lot more game. And when you're a kid, that's exciting. Maybe when you get older, it's like doing chores or something. But let's go this way a bit. Okay, I guess I have time to do this and then something else after. I don't remember what you do after this. I have a couple dumb notes. I feel like I maybe put the face cam further away than other people. Maybe I'm afraid of getting it too close. You see my pimples or something. I don't know. It seems pretty close. It's right here. That's not it. That's not it. They definitely put that in your way to go visit, but I don't really feel like it. Well, maybe I should. Maybe I should. Okay. I notice when I write emails at work that I write a lot of emails. I always default to emails instead of calling people, because I guess most people respond to emails now pretty quick, so you don't have to call them, and I don't really like calling people for obvious reasons, but when I send emails, I've noticed that I'm kind of hesitant to put when I'm asking someone a question, to put question marks. That was kind of interesting. I thought it was interesting this week. When I ask somebody a question, I just put a period most of the time. Unless I'm afraid that they won't understand that it's a question. It's that one? Yeah, it's gotta be. Why do I do that? I guess I think I get kind of nervous when people ask me questions. So I don't want to ask other people questions. I think they might get upset or something. Like, I feel like I'm questioning them, like, where's this thing, or you were supposed to do this, or when you ask it in the form of a question, maybe it's not this way for other people, but it comes across, I like to be softer with the wording, like, can you help me with this thing? I need your help. Can you look into this for me? That's kind of what I say most of the time. And if you put a question mark, it's like, why did you do this? Or what do you mean? What is this thing? Why'd you write this? So I guess that's me projecting how I feel when people question me onto other people. I'm sure most people don't care. I don't know why I get nervous when people ask me questions. I mean, it's just, I'm afraid I won't have the answer, and then won't know what to say. When people ask you a question, it's either you have the answer or you don't. So if you don't have the answer, it's awkward, I don't know. You don't have anything to say. I remember this. What? How did that happen? I'm glad it did, because I don't have to sail over here, but I don't understand how I got flung over here. It's a lighthouse. I never noticed that before. I wonder if they felt tempted to do something like they did in Ocarina of Time, which is you get the 3 things, then you go to the temple, and then you do the time travel thing, and then you go into the future. But in this game, it's just you go here, and then you talk to somebody, and then you do more stuff, but nothing really changes. I wonder if they were tempted to do anything like that. It worked really well in Ocarina of Time. Just cruising. Can I blow up these things? I guess that's a yes, but I can't sail over it. Oh. I need to do something that I don't know what to do. I guess I have to get out. Yeah. He's always electric, so I have to do this. Or not. No. Okay. We'll just leave him be. What do I do with this guy? That's not it. What else do I have? Oh, that's gotta be it. I like his swinging animations. Compass. Show some compassion. I know these guys do something. probably put the clock right there because I have to keep looking back. Okay, 5 more minutes. So that's not it. I started listening to a podcast called Radio Lab. I feel like I heard for a long time about that podcast. I don't know why I never listened to it. I listened to like 2 episodes so far, but I like it. They did an episode where they talked about this game show that was The Prisoner's Dilemma. I didn't finish the episode yet, but and they talked about it on Harmontown this week too, so that was fun. I knew what he was talking about. So a lot of there have been a lot of game shows with The Prisoner's Dilemma, which is just you have money, and I remember this one game show. I don't remember what it was called. The one they talked about on Radiolab was a British show called Golden Balls, but the one I remember was like it was the same exact thing, where you'd have 2 people. And they would have to pick split or steal. So if both players choose split, they split the pot. If it's like 5,000, both players get 2,500. If one player chooses split and the other one chooses steal, the steal player gets 10,000 and the split player gets nothing. And then if they both choose steal, they both get nothing. So I don't know if there is a real solution to the Prisoner's Dilemma. It doesn't seem like there's. It seems like it's impossible to trust the other person. You have to assume they're gonna do the worst thing. So if they do, the only thing you can do is to choose steal so that they get nothing, and on the off chance they choose split, you get something. And that was kind of confirmed by this show. People would, it doesn't matter how convincing you are, you say you're gonna split, but you just never know. The other person could choose steal, and it's impossible to tell. So there's no solution except this guy who came up with a solution, which was he told the other player, I'm definitely going to choose steal, which is an interesting strategy, because if someone's telling you they're going to choose steal, they'd have no reason to lie. But then he said, I'll split the money with you after the show. Oops. So that's a kind of interesting way to hack the game. In a normal Prisoner's Dilemma, there isn't that extra layer of reality to exploit, so you can't do that it's not a real solution to the Prisoner's Dilemma. But it's a solution to these crappy game show prisoner dilemmas where they try to manufacture drama, even though it's the same thing every episode. Both players say, I'm gonna split, and then one player doesn't, and you're like, oh my god, he didn't split when he said he was gonna split. So this guy, he tried to figure out a solution to the problem, and he did, really. Like, I know I can't trust this guy. He's gonna say he's gonna split, but it's possible that he's gonna steal, so what do I do? How do I solve this problem? And he's like, I'll create a situation where I'll be in total control of the situation. I'll tell the guy, I'm definitely 100% gonna steal. And he'll know that I'm telling the truth, because why would I lie about that? About doing the bad thing. So the other player has no choice but to choose split. Or I guess if they really don't trust you, they could choose steal and just be like, okay, then I guess we're both not getting any money. If you but then you're 100% sure, because you're 100% sure that he's gonna choose steal. So if you choose steal, you're 100% sure that you're gonna walk away with nothing. But if you choose split, you're not 100%. He might not give you the money after the show, but he might. So wouldn't it be worth taking that chance? But if you're playing the game the real way, it's not worth taking that chance. Because it's 50-50 either way. You could choose split, and it's 50-50 if he's going to choose split or steal. Or you could choose steal, and it's 50-50 if he's going to choose steal or split. So in the situation that this guy manufactured, if I choose steal, it's not 50-50. It's 100% that I'm not going to get the money. So I might as well choose split, because there's a small percent chance that I will get some money. So I thought that was interesting. Oh, okay. How do I get that? There must be something in this room. Okay, I gotta watch the Metsies. They're gonna lose. But they're right at the point where if they win the next couple games, they'll be like tied for the wild card. So you know they're gonna lose. It's just gonna happen. Oh, there's nothing in there. What did I get in here? I don't remember. I'm gonna look up if there's a real solution to the prisoner's dilemma. I don't think there is. There's just no way to trust the other person. I think in the traditional prisoner's dilemma situation, the two people are separated. It's like that cop tactic or whatever. You separate two prisoners and you say, if you give up the other person, you'll get a easier sentence. But I didn't push it far enough. If you don't, then you risk the other guy's going to give you up. So in that situation, it's easy to see why the only solution is to give the other person up, because otherwise I guess if you both don't give each other up, then there's no proof that either of you did the thing. So then you both would go free. But if you give the other guy up, you would get an easier sentence, which is interesting. That's different than the golden balls scenario, because if you both split, I guess it's not. If you both split, you get less than the total. Yeah, that makes sense. It's the same. It's the same. Yeah, the same thing. That's interesting. I don't know. But when you're a prisoner, there's no way to add that extra layer of reality onto the dilemma, where you can just say, I'll pay you after the show, which is kind of funny. If the guy, and the guy kind of, the other guy gets mad at him, I feel like if he had explained himself better, he would have been like, okay, I see how this is the only way. But then maybe the other guy would have been like, okay, so I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna 100% choose steel. So now you have a decision. Either you can, and I'll split it with you after the show. I wonder why he didn't do that. Because they were talking for like an hour. That would have been funny. So what would happen if that happened? It's this prisoner's dilemma thing isn't that complicated. It's kind of like tic-tac-toe. It's like once you know what to do, you can do it. But then once the other person knows what to do, you're back to square one. It's like there's not really many options. So it's like the only way to win tic-tac-toe is to get 2 spaces where you can put at the same time, so the other person can only get 1 space at a time. But then once there's only like 1 or 2 ways to do that. So once you see the other person setting it up, you know what they're doing and you can block it. So I wonder, it's similar with there's only like, I don't know, like 6 permutations of the prisoner's dilemma. So even if you add the extra layer, so the guy says, I'm gonna 100% choose steel, and then the other guy says, I'm gonna 100% choose steel. So now what does the other guy do? I don't know. What would you do? One of them would eventually have to concede and trust the other person again, so. But it would still be better than having to trust them. Would it? I don't know. Maybe they talk about it. I listened to the first half of it. Maybe they actually mention that in the episode. I don't know. The podcast is supposed to be like, the podcast is like a smart podcast, so maybe they would just go through a bunch of different stuff extra than you would expect. So maybe that would be part of it. I don't know. Okay, I went long today, but I hope the Mets are winning. I'm sure they're not. Okay. See you tomorrow.